To get started, at least on the '09 instance here, I've got a couple favorites that I've set up. But to the initial configuration is to go to the integrations configuration. And you can actually do it from this menu here. So if you type in integrations configuration, it'll actually load this page. And from here, you can actually see VMRay exists and you can configure it. And so customers will go here, put in their API URL key. And if there's a mid server, now the mid server is basically an intermediary server that is typically used for someone who is needing to connect to something on premise or in another location. In a cloud environment, probably not going to be needed. And then also when you put in your fetch submissions, you can dictate the time frame, how far back you want to go to be able to pull the data in for the very first time. And then obviously you can get submission verdicts, and these are comma separated, so they can do malicious, suspicious, and clean, or they could just do malicious, whatever it is that they want to do. So that's the general configuration. The rest of it is pretty much driven from the menu by typing in VMRay. So if you start to type in VMRay, what you'll see is that there are several options in this menu. So it starts at the very top here, which is VMRay for security incident response. And that is ServiceNow's incident response module that we are integrating with. Down at the bottom here, just kind of working its way up, you've got the support contact, which brings up this page. And then from there, you actually have global settings and scheduled jobs. And we'll go through each one of these in particular. This is where a customer would want to go in and set up the jobs that run. And I'll just go through each one of these at a very high level. But this is where it'll fetch the samples, and it can run periodically, or it can run daily, weekly, monthly, things like that. The way I currently have this set up is to run periodically, which means that it's going to run every 1 minute. And if I were to change that, then I could come in here and put this in to say like every 2 minutes and click update, and that'll update that run window. If I come back here, I can say execute now, and it will actually run it, and it will go and bring in any new samples since they were last submitted. The same thing with IOCs. You can do this here. You can run that now. And you can fetch your submissions, same concept. And also any unfinished submissions. And so the importance of this one here is that if you obviously submit something and it's not finished running, we can actually find out what those submission IDs are and then figure out whether or not it's completed or not through a true or false status. And all these can be activated and ready to go. And then you'll be able to see all your scheduled jobs. So that's something that customers can go ahead and do. And if there's anything updated in there, it'll certainly pull it back in. Continuing on to the global settings, just as an awareness, customers have the ability to ingest the samples, the submissions, the IOCs, and currently this will default to 50 number of records. I set this to 999 in the meantime here because it can go up to 1,000. And it will also have a few other parameters here as far as like the timeout, as well as any sandbox submission result timeouts. So those can all be set up in the configuration as well. And then lastly, you can actually go through and configure a sample upload. This is a separate parameter that's in the user guide. You know, customers can go in here and add these various conditions in if they want to do that, and put that as far as the sample submissions for any uploads that are being sent in.